Hi everyone, we'll start shortly. So hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining. My name is Gary Taylor, and today I'm going to run through Megaport service keys with a quick demo on how to connect two separate devices to each other. And by separate, I mean in completely separate networks. This is part of the ongoing series of Megaport Live Tech Drop-ins. So firstly, Megaport is a networking as a service provider. Essentially, we provide the ability for customers to consume networking services in exactly the same way you would consume cloud services. So real-time, scale up, scale down, delete, migrate, etc. So what makes a Megaport NAS platform different? Well, first it's the reach. Megaport NAS is part of a virtualized global ecosystem built on pre-existing hardware. This gives you the ability to deploy capacity to all of the well-known cloud service providers, as well as thousands of IT-based services across the globe. It has predictable performance. It's like having your own private fiber line, making it highly secure. Your data travels on our private global network with no internet within the core. All of these components can then be linked together with virtualized network cross connects. We call them VXCs, and they are typically layer 2 MPLS pseudo-wires. And as stated, this can be done in near real time, just a few minutes, and the service is up. You only pay for the capacity you wish to deploy. As it is pre-built and virtualized, you can scale that capacity up and down on demand. You no longer have to worry about traffic spikes or wasted capacity. This ensures good end-user application performance. This makes NAS services very cost-effective. This can all be designed, deployed, and be fully operational in minutes and be available for only the term you need. This reduces your upfront infrastructure cost to zero, and also your time cost is zero. As your Megaport assets are virtual, it requires no capital investment or hardware provision. It's also worth mentioning egress fees for all cloud providers via Megaport partner on-ramps are significantly lower, so there is a potential data cost savings when using private cloud access. So you can design, deploy, manage, and monitor. You can all do it through a single secure portal. It's point and click. You bring your cloud service keys, and this makes establishing private connectivity simple. We also provide full API and Terraform integration. Here's a quick snapshot of our global reach. We have two ways of location types. First one is installed. These locations contain Megaport hardware, and then we have enabled. These locations share the same campus or metro area as a Megaport installed location. Megaport hardware is not located within the enabled location facility, but you can access it through a private campus or metro cross-connect service. Quick summary of the connectivity options that are available. On the left, we have hybrid cloud. Here you connect your physical infrastructure that is in a data center to Megaport via a cross-connect, and capacity is from 1 gig up to 100. We then have virtual POP. This is on-demand network for function virtualization. Here you can deploy SD-WAN gateways, virtual routers, and virtual firewalls in just minutes in real time in over 80 locations globally. And then on the right, we have cross-cloud, and this is essentially where you would spin up a virtual router, and that handles traffic between two or more clouds at the edge. You can obviously bring that traffic back, that is now cloud to cloud, back to your own physical environments via a physical Megaport. In the demo, I'm going to show you how easy it is to connect different devices to each other from two separate physical networks. As you continue to expand your resources, Megaport can grow with you. With just a few clicks, you have the power to build a global WAN in minutes. Whether you're looking to connect physical POPs, connect a virtual POP back to your core network, or localize traffic flows, Global WAN simplifies the process. And today I'll be doing a demo showing you how easy it is to connect separate networks to each other via service keys. So for example, you might be in North America and you need to connect back to a separate European network to create an overall global WAN, then this can be done via service keys. So you could have multiple regional networks all talking to each other via service keys, and they could be delivered from multiple end user accounts. So a quick summary of the service key process is as follows. You create the service key in the Megaport portal for either a physical port, an MCR, which is a Megaport cloud router, or an MVE, which is the Megaport virtual edge or virtual compute platform. You then send the service key to the other user. They would then go into their portal, they choose connection, and then they enter the service key details. And then an API call is made, it validates, and a connection is then created from your device back to the other network. It's worth noting, whoever consumes the key, so whoever enters the key into their portal, has to pay. So in this case, and in the example of the demo, we're going to connect from North America to Europe. The European network is going to then consume the key and pay to connect back to North America. And with that, I'm going to jump into the Megaport portal and show you how quickly it is to connect to other Megaport users. So I'll go here. So this is our production portal. I'm just using a separate browser just to allow me to create two different accounts. At a high level, we've got the dashboard. This just gives you a nice holistic view of all the services that you have and also all the services that are available within the region. If we zoom into Europe, these are all my colleagues around the world building services. You can actually filter on just the services that you have deployed. You can also filter on locations, for example, where there's 100 gig access or where there are MVEs and 100 gig as well. You can also search on data center providers. So if we just look at, say, interaction, or DLR as it's called now, these are all the interaction locations as well. So that just gives you a nice holistic view. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the portal via the services tab. And what I've done now is I've actually built a MVE. It's a Palo Alto device. It's sitting in New York. There's no internet at all. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a service key. I'm then going to copy that and then log into another portal and then connect the two services together. So we go click on service keys. We click on create service key. I'm going to call this SK1 New York. And we only need 100 meg. And what we have here is that we've got the choice of where we're going to terminate that VLAN or that VXC. So in the case of Palo Alto, we've got the VNIC 0, which is a management plane. We've then got the internet. And I've just created typical LAN, HA, and then I've done the fourth VNIC or VNIC 5. I'm calling it third party. And that's where we're going to choose to terminate the VLAN. So we click add service key. And then I'm going to copy it. I'll close that. And while we're here as well, I'll just run through the other services available. If you, with an MCR, in this case, it's an MCR sitting in Australia, the service key process is exactly the same. Obviously, there's no VNIC option here, but it's exactly the same process, be it port, MCR, and in the case of MVE, we just choose the VNIC. So I've taken that service key here, and I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to jump into the other portal. And I'll just go to our portal here, and I've created a dedicated account just for the demo. And as you can see here in the dashboard, we've got a FortiGate. That's all we have deployed here. And if I zoom in, we can actually see that FortiGate here. It's built in out EMEA in North Sea data center. And we've got a 20 meg internet connection back to AMS, AMS5 Equinix. So I'll just jump out of that. I'll go into the services, and we've got the service key from the Palo Alto in New York on the other account. We click on connection. We click on enter service key. It's validated. And as you can see here, we've called it SK1 New York. Click on next. And I'm going to call this SK2 Amsterdam. Oops. And the maximum is 100 meg, but we only need 50. So as the consumer of the service key and the one who's paying for it, I'm choosing to only connect at 50 meg. We have resource tagging, which allows you to tag services and then allows you much better filtering and management of that. And in this case here, the Fortinet is slightly different. There's no management plane, but here we've got the same thing. We've got an internet VNet, we've got a LAN VNet, and then we've labeled as VNet 3, but it's the fourth VNet. We're going to call it third party. So I'm choosing to connect the service key into the VNet 4, and I'm just going to choose 100 as a VLAN. Click next. We add the VXC, and then we click order. It will validate, makes an API call, and we click order now. And obviously the prices come up because I'm paying because I'm in Europe and I'm connecting back to a Palo Alto. And then we give that a couple of minutes, and then that should come up very soon. So while it's doing that, I'll just run through some of the connectivity options available. We obviously, in this case, there's no private VLAN possible because we only have one deployment. We can connect into cloud. We've got multiple cloud options here as well. And then if I go back to connection, we can also connect. I have built an internet feed as well for this, but we might choose to connect out of, say, Paris. We're going to deliver a second internet feed, and we're going to choose part 2. And in this case, I'm looking at 200 meg. And then that's going to connect. We'll just connect it into the LAN side. We'll click next. And then we add the VXC. So this is now a third VLAN. We have one VLAN existing already. Click order, and that validates. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go back into the portal, click order. So that's deploying a second internet. I'm going to go back into my other account. And we wait for that connection. I'm just going to filter. There. And then we're going to wait for that to go live. So as you can see here, this is live. We're calling SK2. And that service is now connected, where we've got a connection in Amsterdam connecting back to New York. That's a Palo Alto. This is a FortiGate. It's two logically separate networks, two separate vendors connecting, and the service is now up. And that's it from my side. Any questions, please contact me, and thank you for joining. And I look forward to seeing you next time on the live tech drop-ins.